Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Echo. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newer versions of other games, you can go to their Patreon, which is $3 a month. This game's completed. I don't know why I'm having a hard time not pushing that button in my brain. Speaking of pushing buttons, we went to the lake and started out awkward. But then we were having a bit of fun when Chase decided to lay underwater and then got sleep paralysis and almost drowned. Which then sent Flynn chasing after TJ for some reason. Then Leo tackled Flynn because Flynn's being Flynn. And then me and Carl drove back to the house because, it was a bad scene, though. Probably should have gone to a hospital. Also, Jenna was looking at us. It didn't say how she was looking at us, but said she was. But then, Carl went straight into the crawl space. We went to... I couldn't find Carl, but we did find a hole which we went into and then passed out. Because, drowning is not particularly good for people. And then, we woke up and then fell down into this area, and we just found Carl. They have a whole secret mansion underground. I don't know. Whatever, we'll set our face, 1 sec, and begin. His eyes are wide, and nostrils flare. He stumbles up to me, his hands clasped together nervously. Holy shit, dude. It's so fucking good to see you. Okay, we're past the 1 minute mark. I press up harder against the wall, taking more weight off my foot. What the hell is going on? I don't know. I just woke up. You okay? He looks at me, then down at my foot. Are you hurt? I gesture up at the ladder. I fell down that thing. Carl looks up the ladder, and at the dark hole it leads up to. What were you doing up there? I don't know. I just woke up in the dark and tried to crawl out. Shit. Carl bends down to look at my ankle, which is clearly starting to swell. Can you walk? I think so. Kind of. He stands back up and looks around. Chase, I don't know what's going on. I just woke up in the bedroom up the hall like 20 minutes ago. Is this not part of your house? Carl lets out a breathy, incredulous laugh. No, definitely not. I was trying to find a window, but I can't. Maybe we're in a basement or something? The last thing I remember is your crawl space. Why would they have an attic in a basement? I look back up the dark hole in the ceiling. Well, have your parents ever was wondering, like, hey, why are there huge electricity bills like we have a second house underground? Maybe it's not an attic. Chase, I'm freaking out. And it shows too. His breathing is picking up, his wide nostrils flaring open. I reach out and put a hand on his shoulder, giving some reassuring squeezes. No, it's okay. Maybe we got really high, or drunk, or something. That's the last thing you remember. What's the last thing you remember? Carl starts clicking his fingers together again, looking away up the hall. The lake? Yeah, I remember we went back to your house, then down the basement, and then... Carl frowns. I don't remember. I watch him carefully. But then I remember looking behind the plastic bins, and there was this... help. We both jump as his scream comes right down the hall. Maybe that's Raven? Carl and I both look at each other, eyes wide. What the hell? Hello? Is someone out there? That sounds like Raven. Yeah, Raven's here too. Or at least at the house. Carl starts to hesitantly walk up the hallway, and I move to follow, and immediately regret it as I put my weight on my ankle. It's completely stiff now, and the pain shoots up to my shin like lightning. My gasping causes Carl to turn around in confusion. Then, his eyes light up when he sees my leg. Oh shit, here. He reaches out, and I wrap an arm around his neck. He's sturdy and strong, easy to lean against, and I sigh with relief as I take the weight off my injured ankle. Or we could be in the building that's in Chainsaw Man. You know that one? Somebody. We hobble our way down the hall, following the sound of Raven's panicked voice. We take a left at the end of the hall, and we're confronted with an almost identical hallway to the last. That's when I start to smell smoke. Uh-oh. Do you smell that? Carl puts his nose up. Something's burning? Help me! Rolled a doobie. I almost jump again as the sound comes from on our left, the only door on the left side of the hallway. We both look at the door for a moment. Carl's ears perk straight up. And we both jump against the door. Jump again as the door shakes from several heavy bashes that rattle the frame. Help! The cry is mournful, like he's given up. Raven? The shaking and pounding stops. Carl? Carl! The voice instantly turns hopeful, and the voice grows muffled as Raven is pressing his muzzle right up against the door. Okay? Don't... pause for a second. Raven, get away from the door. Ram it. I'm stuck. The door won't open, and there's a fire. What? Chase, is there something burning on the stove, or something? I can't see it. Me and Carl look at each other in bewilderment. Guys, it's getting really smoky in here. I can't really see anything. He gives a cough, and it's really hard to breathe. Alright, hold on a sec, man. We'll get you out. Carl shifts me to the wall so I can lean against it, then tries the doorknob. The knob barely turns, clearly locked. Shit. Yeah, it's locked. It's getting really hot in here. Hold on. Carl shoves a shoulder up against the door. It gives a few creaks, but otherwise stays solid. Please help. A plaintive whimpering is barely audible through the thick wood. What kind of lock is it? Maybe we could pick it? Ram it. Carl says the knob. I don't think a paperclip's gonna work. I lean in to look and find myself staring at an old-fashioned keyhole. The hell? Raven, can you lock it from your side? No, there's nothing here. Guys, can't breathe. His voice is getting desperate again. There's no other way out? No other door in there? Raven doesn't answer, and Carl and I both wait for a good 10 seconds. Idiots! Raven? Ah! Or ah! We both jump a third time before Carl presses his face up against the door. Raven? Raven, what happened? A few seconds, all we hear is coughs. Then Raven's voice is lower, up against the bottom of the door, as if he's laying down. Something's in the smoke. Help. Guys, come on, don't let the good boy die. What's in the smoke? My mind flashes back to what I heard in the attic. Something, can't see. Open the door. Fuck, alright man, stand back. I don't know if he's talking to me or Raven, but I take a step back anyway. Carl takes a few steps back, then throws his body forward, smashing up against the door. It shudders a little bit, and I hear a crack or two, but otherwise, there's no change. He tries again with the same result. Carl, I don't think that's gonna work. Carl doesn't say anything, instead backing up until his back touches the opposite wall. He takes a deep breath, then charges forward, his head down this time. Instinctively, I close my eyes, imagining Carl snapping his neck right in front of me. He's a ram, they don't do that. The impact is much louder this time, and it encompasses, accompanied by a crunch. When I open my eyes, it's not Carl's neck that's broken, but rather the wooden door. Carl's head has completely busted through the door, so his head is poking in to the other side. I stare, expecting to see tendrils of black smoke shaking out of the broken door, but there's nothing. Carl sits his hands on either side of the door, apparently taking a look around. Raven, you okay? I walk up to Carl's side and put a hand on his back. Carl, what is it? Is there a fire? Carl braces himself up against the door before pushing back, yanking his head out of the opening. He comes up with a bunch of wooden splinters clinging to his head fur, and beard, and shirt. Nothing. I duck down and look through the opening as well, taking care to keep weight off my injured foot. I'm greeted at the sight of a brightly lit dining room and kitchen, but it's clear, no smoke in sight. It was completely black in here a second ago. Look down at the trembling voice of Raven below me and see the husky curled up, his head poking up from the fetal position. Hey, Chase. Hi? I don't know what happened. There was smoke everywhere. It's like when you opened the door, it all got sucked out. I sniff, and now I can't even get a whiff of smoke. Aside from the residual taste, I still have it in the back of my throat. I hear a click next to my head, and look over to see the doorknob twist. I pull my head out of the hole, and Carl pulls the door open. Are you kidding me? It was locked, right? It was definitely locked. Raven gets up, brushing shaky hands down his shirt. You okay, man? Yeah, I wouldn't want the good boy to die. But also, when we get out of here, let's get out of everywhere. Yeah. I just thought I was gonna die for a second. I watch as Raven struggles to keep his ears perked. What happened? Raven takes a deep breath. I don't know. I just woke up in here, and smoke just started coming out from the stove, or oven, or something. You said you saw something. Yeah, something in the smoke. It looked like arms or something. Carl and I look at each other, but it might have just been the smoke. I look around the room, scan it for any sign of black smoke that Raven was so adamant about having seen. Oh, sorry, getting reading yawns. Also, it's getting later. I don't think he was seeing things because I'm pretty sure I hadn't imagined the smell. I promise I'm not lying, it's just what I saw. I think the bigger issue is that we're here at all. I mean, where the hell is here? I spread my hands out, gesturing an incredulous laugh, giving an incredulous laugh. I thought maybe it was just another part of your house? Raven looks at Carl. I mean, I went downstairs after you guys and found this hole, then everything went dark. Carl looks down. Same here. I followed Carl. We both look at Carl, but he doesn't say anything. Sorry, eat your bakery, Yeah, I've been reading for quite a while because I'm like, yay, I'm gonna do more of this. Instead, just moving past Raven into the large kitchen next to the dining room. I hum after him, then reach out to lean against the counter. You're not gonna help me? I try to gather my thoughts. Everything feels dreamlike, surreal, and my thoughts are sluggish. Carl, do you have any idea what happened? I mean, that hole. Did you go there too? Carl sits his hands on his hips, eyes wandering around the room. Honestly, I can't remember anything that happened after the lake man. Raven casts a sidelong look at me before moving next to Carl. Well, maybe it will just take you a second before you remember. I was really confused when I woke up here. I was curled up over there on that counter. Raven points to a marble top counter under a row over a dozen pans hanging from a fixture attached to the ceiling. We stand there in silence as, I imagine, we individually absorb the situation we're in. Carl, are you sure there's some extension of your house? Maybe something that leads out of the crawl space? The ram laughs, but it definitely isn't genuine. Dude, I think I know if this was some part of my house. Unless my parents have just been building the secret kitchen underground for who knows how long? I glance at the lighting, which is definitely electric, then over at what looks like an electric stove. While everything sort of looked old-fashioned, there was a mixture of modern modernity, mo- modern stuff to it as well. Where else could we be? Raven and I remember going into the crawl space, then losing consciousness after you found that hole, which is where you went, Carl. Carl, who finally does turn to me at this point, his brow furrowed. Do you think I had something to do with this? Even though I was implying that he might know more, Carl's sudden jump to being defensive catches me by surprise. No, I just wonder if you might know of any more ideas since it's your house, you know? Carl laughs again. I'm struck by the fullness of it. Usually, when Carl laughed, it was craggly and half-hearted. Now, it was loud and a little abrasive. Think I just waited in the shadows and drugged you all up with acid or some shit? I don't respond, just watching Carl as he stares back at me, breathing hard. Raven coughs loudly. Hey, guys, let's calm down. You know, I'm kind of hungry. Why don't we make some food? It's kind of interesting. He must have been really hungry to be like, so we gonna eat now? I am a husky. That seems to break Carl out of his stare down with me, as he looks over at Raven, then huffs out one of his more characteristic chuckles. Really, Raven? Yeah, that always makes you feel better. Raven starts opening cupboards, but each one is empty. Carl turns back to me, frowning. Sorry, Chase. I'm just really fucking freaked out, too. Thing is, I don't think we're in my house anymore. He chuckles again. I mean, are we even in Echo? What time is it anyway? I reach my pocket to check my phone, and that's to remember I have a fucking phone. I almost jump with the realization and shove my hand in my pocket to pull it out. Why didn't I think of that before? What? Phone. I pull it out excitedly and hit the button to turn the screen on. And I'm met with a black screen. My phone's dead. Are you kidding me? I hold the power button down, but nothing happens. Look up to see Raven and Carl getting similar results. Raven shaking his as if that's gonna help. Carl shakes his head. Were we out that long? This is crazy. I press my hand to my face for a moment, the idea that this could still be some sort of dream coming to mind. I remember I've taken an overnight job back when I was a freshman, and that I had fucked up my sleeping schedule. That in turn gave me all kinds of fucked up realistic dreams. Sleep paralysis plagued me to the ends of my wits, and I remember one time I thought I'd never be able to get up. I was stuck in bed, but each time I sat up and thought it'd be over, I'd end up sort of waking up again, still lying down, stuck in my paralysis. Dreams within dreams within dreams. I wonder if that's a thing from, like, Dune? You know, plans within plans within plans. No food either. My scattered thoughts collect together long enough for me to decide on the next course of action we should take. Alright, this is stupid. We should go out and look around. We'll find a way out eventually. Yeah, we need to do that. I looked around a little, but I didn't find anything. I gripped the counter a little more tightly as I feel a slight wave of dizziness come over me, making everything feel even less real. But the pain that's shooting up from my ankle is very real, and I glance down at the ever-growing swell confirms it. The suspicion that we'd somehow been drugged grows, but I don't want to upset Carl again, so I don't mention it. Okay, yeah. Let's just stick together and go. We'll find a way out. I am hungry. We can eat when we get out. There's no food here anyway. I turn around, and even though I do as slightly as possible, the moment I set my right foot down, feels like 100 needles pressed into my ankle. Fuck. Carl's at my side instantly, reaching out a hand to steady me. Dude, you alright? What happened? I lean all my weight on the counter at that point, just let my foot dangle as I hold it off the ground. Off the ground is painful. He fell down the ladder and landed on his foot wrong. What? But it's only now that it's really starting to hurt. I say it through gritted teeth. The pain is actually making me sweat, and I'm realizing that I might have done more than just sprain it. I don't think I can walk like this. How'd you fall down a ladder? He woke up in an attic. Here. Carl hunches down in front of me. My stupefied brain thinks up a butt sex joke, but managed to keep it canned. I don't know. You sure? I could just lean against you. That'd take too long. Besides, it looks like you can't walk at all right now. Hesitantly, I let go of the counter and let myself sort of fall forwards into the ramp's back. He's sturdy and barely manages as I lean all my weight onto him. Carl reaches back with both of his hands and hitches my legs off the ground as he stands, and I feel the muscles in his back flex as he does. Damn, Carl, you work out? Carl grunts. A little bit. I move my head to the side to keep from knocking my nose against the horns. It's a smart move because just then Carl nods his head in Raven's direction. Hey, I know this is kind of fucked up, but maybe grab a kitchen knife? Raven raised an eyebrow at Carl. Why? Immediately see what Carl's getting at. We have no idea where we are or who put us here. Might be safe to be ready to defend ourselves, you know? And you said you saw something in the smoke. Raven's eyes widen, but he reaches out slowly, pulls out a knife from the silver looking knife block. The husky frowns at the shing sound it makes. His ears down and elbows in. It's clear he's never used anything as a weapon before. But I can't blame him, neither have I. I don't know if I should be the one doing it, though. Well, you're not strong enough to hold Chase, so I've got my hands tied. He looks back at me. If anything happens, though, I'll have to drop you and help him out. Okay, man? I chuckle softly. Yeah, no problem. Let's just hope that doesn't have to happen. And, with the shaky husky in the lead, we set off back in the hallway. Immediately it's clear that wherever we are isn't very large. 4 identical hallways lead us around a perfect square. Each hallway has 3 doors on the right and 1 on the left, and a hatch in the ceiling that leads to the attic. What also becomes immediately clear is the door on the left leads into the kitchen, but from the kitchen there is only 1 door out. Each time we open the door, the kitchen we come to realize that the angle in which we enter is the same. The first time it happens, we're mostly just confused, wondering if maybe we backtrack somehow. After the second time, though, Raven laughs. This isn't real. We're on drugs or something. But we're all seeing the same thing? Or I'm just having this dream and none of you are real, eh? Husky's voice is borderline and crazy. Come on, man. Keep it cool. That paired with his grin, paired with him holding a knife, is slightly disconcerting. Carl huffs, hitching me up higher on his shoulders. Alright, calm down. Just don't think about it. Let's try the other doors. I'm a little surprised at how well Carl's taking all this. I wonder what part of it has to do with any of the weeds that might still be in the system. We start trying doors on the right, and this time things are different. The first door opens to a wall, just an extension of a beige color of the wall surrounding it. We stare at it for a few moments, and for the first time I feel a deep, unsettling terror in the pit of my stomach. I managed to keep it from rising at the surface, but all of this bizarre imagery combined with the surreal haze is making me feel sick and claustrophobic. Bummer. That's definitely not a way out. On to the next door. Carl chuckles again, and I feel myself clinging to his attempt at humor, just to keep myself sane. The next door opens up to what looks like a bathroom. It's definitely not a modern one though, since it's complete with a pull chain from the high tank. I mean, I've used those. Well, at least we've got all the essentials, right? Next door reveals a room full of tools and chains hanging from the ceiling, along with a sawhorse. It says sawhorse. Oh, like something that you put wood on to stuff. The walls, though, are lined with wooden planks, and Carl gently sets me against the hallway wall before hurrying in and peering at the wood. Fuck, it's just concrete behind it. I don't bother to ask what the hell is going on again. I'm just starting to accept that where we are can't be explained. More doors are opened, 12 in all. One is completely white and empty. Another contains a frilly bedroom, which is where Carl says he woke up. Further along, we come across what looks like an office, along with the room decorated with sofas and a chandelier. When we reach one of the doors in the last hall, though, something's different. The first thing I notice is the smell. Though it's faint, I can tell it's sweet, in the most disgusting way possible. Ugh, what is that? That face there, looks cute. Raven holds his hands up to his nose as we approach the second to last door in the last hall. This one's clearly damaged. Wood is splintered in the middle, bulging out slightly as if it had been punched from the other side. We all stare at it a moment, smell growing stronger. Then it hits me. Oh God, do you think? Bodies. I can't finish, carrying my muzzle with both hands. Raven, who had just been right up next to the door, steps back with an arm up around his face, looking like he's about to throw up. I imagine the smell is a lot worse for him. Maybe we should skip this one. For now. Carl hesitates, then gently sits me down against the wall again. We need to check every door. This could be the way out, you know? He looks back at me, but I don't say anything, just grimacing at the door. He holds out a hand to Raven. Knife. After handing it over, Raven takes several more steps back, further up the hall. I press my hands to my muzzle, readying myself to shut my eyes. As Carl turns the knob, I grit my teeth. The room has no illumination, therefore, I have to rely on the light from the hallway to see inside, or we have to. As light from the opening door spreads across the room, I see that it's rather simple. The walls are concrete, peppered with crates and rocks. The floor is smoother, but with webs of cracks in its surface. I can't see the ceiling, but I do see what's hanging from it. Once the door opens completely, though, there's enough light to fully take in exactly what it is. A noose, frayed from an old-looking, but unmistakably a noose. Carl stares at it, then sticks his head in further to look back and forth before stepping back to close the door. What was it? Irvin calls up from the hall, his hands clasped nervously together. I notice then that the rotting smell is completely gone now, instead of getting stronger when Carl opened the door. Nothing. Empty room. I see Carl visibly trying to keep his breathing under control as he holds the knife out to Raven before bending down in front of me again. Really? Oh, thank God. Carl trembles as he stands up with me in tow. As Husky moves to the final door, I lean in next to Carl's cheek. You okay? Did you see anything? He turns his head towards me, touching his cheek to mine. Aside from the rope? No. It's hard to say whether or not I believe him, or if he's trying to protect me from whatever else he saw in there. Either way, I don't press for it. The last door is locked. It's big, and made of small logs. Its deep brown color contrasts with all the others. Raven jiggles the handle a few times, and Carl tries to look into the cracks between the logs, but it's completely black. So that's it? That's all the doors. I'm starting to feel a certain level of panic again, now that we know that we're stuck. Carl, I think, picks up on that and comes over to where I'm leaning against the wall to set a hand on my shoulder. It's right, man. We haven't checked the attic either. I mean, there aren't any windows, so like you said, probably in a basement or something, right? The reassuring hand feels good, but it's not exactly enough to keep me from feeling a certain level of despair. Honestly, I think I'm still dreaming right now. Carl doesn't say anything to that. Raven slides up next to us. Well, dream or not, I'm still pretty hungry. We both grimace at Raven and can't help but give a little laugh at the grin on his face. I guess at least for now, it's best not to think about it. And with that scene change, it's time to call it. I don't know. I guess we are partway, I wonder if this is going to be the extent of it. We're in some kind of hallway thing and then we're going to come out and things are just, you know, But, that's what we're gonna have to see through its thing. Though I'm gonna take a quick look at his roots thing. Okay, I guess, there's just two, paragraphs, or, choices or something like that. But we're I don't know, halfway through the game, maybe, more or less. I don't know. Though it could be that this thing completely passed over, all these small stuff. The stuff that is not really relevant, you know? So, that's gonna be the end of this Let's Play. So please comment, guys, comments, tips you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and like to grow, then please subscribe and check out the videos tab at grow, and please remember to new your animals to help control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, it's available for free on itch.io, but if you want to support the people that made this game and are making other games, and you want those ones earlier, then you can go to Patreon for $3 a month. But it's another game. Yeah. And until next time, let's say me, GamerWolfSix of Echo. So thanks and see ya.